If you couldn't tell, I'm quite the artist. I've been finger painting since I was in 3rd grade. Oh, watch out. It's top 10 unusual paintings in history. Number 10, the blank canvas. On your way to greatness, others will attempt to take you down. In competition, envy, or spite. That's how it works. However, some will go as far as to mimic you. Now sure, imitation is the best form of flattery, as they say, but what if that imitation far outreaches the lengths of your own efforts? Ooh, better call Saul. Robert Rosenberg was a painter who was gifted a painting from de Kooning, who was already a rising star in the art world. I finally got that sentence off, sorry about that. However, he got the bright idea to erase the painting and then use that blank canvas as his own work. Surely a blank canvas couldn't be so prolific and attract so many, right? Well, it did, and it's blank. Like, that's it, it's just blank, and his painting became more famous, so I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend I understand art because one dude did a can of soup and it was Warhol, wasn't it? Andy Warhol did a can of soup and it was really big, so. Number 9, the Garden of Earthly Delights. Hieronymus Bosch Triptych Trippy Where's Waldo painting. Boy, that was a tongue twister. Okay, that was a lot of words, but what you need to know is that the painting is that of the late 1400s creation, a la the Renaissance, and it's triptych, meaning it's divided into 3 sections. I'm pretty sure I've done a few of these in art class. They weren't very good though. The painting depicts people of all sorts wearing different degrees of clothing from nothing to barely anything at all, frolicking about in grasslands and waters with other mythical imagery and playfulness of the such. Little is known about the original interpretation, but I guess that's what makes art art, if you couldn't already tell. Chetty's more of a fart guy than an art guy. Oh, there's another one there. Number 8, the Crying Boy. So basically, there's this very popular print of a painting. It's a boy crying. Now, there's different versions of it, but originally done by Bruno Amarillo. Bruno doesn't get much praise because his painting, well, it had some serious creep factor going on, and it's everywhere. Because the fact that it is a crying young man who's peering into the very depths of your soul might have something to do with that creepiness too. Firefighters around the world, however, began to notice a pattern when putting out house fires. They noticed no smoke alarms, leaving the stove unattended, and this painting was quite common in households, except the painting was never damaged in these fires. The whole house could burn down, but the painting remained. And after putting out a few houses and the same painting keeps showing up and keeps surviving fires, same painting, different fires, same crying boy, well, I don't really need to tell you how messed up that is. Really creepy. However, as it turns out, there's a simple explanation. The print actually had a flame retardant chemical in its production, thus protecting it. Maybe just don't bring it around though, just in case. It could actually be starting the fire. Just looking the baby around, just in case. Number 7, Persistence of Memory. This is a painting I have seen many times in movies, TV, and well, it just gets thrown around a lot. For those at home, this is the very famous Salvador Dali painting with the melting clocks. I'm pretty sure it's even in an episode of SpongeBob. I'm pretty sure it's the first time I saw it was in SpongeBob. Usually the painting is used to show an ulterior world where time is nothing, or the deterioration of self in the real world with time moving at a different pace. For me, it reminds me of Lost Time, or the anxiety of watching time slip away. For me, that's personified in Majora's Mask. I gotta be back at the motel before the big scary moon falls so I can get a mask and then play the song of time again and pretend everything's normal and okay. Number 6, The Scream. Edvard Munch's Scream may be the most recognizable art piece next to the Mona Lisa, and it's very unusual and horrifying. At least for me. Using a mix of warm and cool colors, you'd think it would make you feel warm and cozy. And yes, I remember some of my grade 2 art basics like warm and cool colors. However, the first thing that's gonna catch your eye is the screaming man with hands grasping his face in the foreground. Something like this. Who honestly, if you look at long enough, at least to me, it looks like more of like a little gray man found at the Roswell incident than anything else. Supposedly the interpretation of this piece is to be that of the horrors and anxiety of human existence. So in a way, it's a mental health piece, way ahead of its time, even if it is horrifying, so that's kind of cool. Number 5, The Anguished Man. I don't care who you are, but every family out there has one artifact or one heirloom in their house that just doesn't sit well with you. Please comment below and let me know. I'm actually curious. What's the heirloom? For me, it was, well, it was a few things actually. My mom used to have this dancing skull at Halloween. It was really weird. My aunt has a lot of dolls. My aunt had a lot of dolls. There's one in particular that used to sit on the staircase. Did not like that. Well, that's probably where the Anguished Man came from. Same place the creepy dolls do. It all makes sense. There's a spooky realm, I'm sure of it. The Anguished Man is a painting of a man in anguish or in some sort of distress. Or a lot. And I'm not just saying this to be funny, but the painting is 100% bona fide scary. What's more unusual than that is that no one is sure of its origin or creator, just to add to the mystery and horror. The current owner of the painting says he got it from his grandmother, and the knowledge train stops there, folks. And it can stop there. I'm good. Don't need to know anymore after that. We're good. Number 4, the Judgment of Cambyses. This is a very lovely oil painting with a surprisingly good color depicting one of the worst things that we could do to another human being. I'll give you a second to guess what it is. Go ahead, take a guess. No, it's not sit through all 8 seasons of the 10 Commandments. Now that's a joke about a Charlton Heston movie and how long it is. Can't sit through that movie anymore, man. God, it's so old. Well, speaking of classics, flaying, which is what you do when you skin another human being. Alive. Of course, why not? This painting happens to be a depiction of a Persian judge getting flayed, where later, not depicted in this art, his skin was used to make a very fine chair to sit in that his son was forced to sit in for his father's sins. Whew, man, that's a lot. That's heavy. That's heavy, man. Number 3, the Face of War. Here's another totally not nightmare-inducing painting from Salvador Dali. The guy had some weird paintings. This time of the horrors of war. The face of war is the face of a person with other screaming faces in the eyes and in the mouth. Besides the horrific screaming, the main face has a rather sour disposition. The painting was intended to be anti-war, which was very important for the time as it was painted in 1940 when Europe was at war. However, it could also be a reminder to those that survived the previous war, World War I. It was awful for most, but even after it was long over, no one really got the help they needed for shell shock, or in today's terms, PTSD. At least we got this painting though, right? That shows how bad it is. We'll never do that again, right? We're probably gonna do it again. Number 2, the nightmare. Sometimes at night you have bad dreams. I used to get a lot as a kid. Sometimes you're a toga wearing lady who's out cold on her couch, and on top of her is a spooky denizen of the night who's staring at the viewer. Ooh, no thanks. Painted by Swiss artist Henry Fussell, it perhaps could be a manifestation of a woman he had fallen in love with, and maybe it was forbidden love. At least that's how the story goes, or so I'm told. I'm not too sure, but that little demon could be a problem, so we better lock it up in a safe place. That's why the painting right now is located in Detroit, of all places. It's in Detroit. It's a great place for it, why not? Shout out to Detroit, how you doing? Number 1, Dream of the Fisherman's Wife. The editors are gonna have to blur some of this out, but this is from the early 1800s in Japan, which was a very confusing and life-changing time for many in Japan. Why is that? Well, that's because erotic books had collections of images like this one in it, which in a nutshell depicts an octopus and a lady on a date. Except the date is already past the schnapps and the clam eating, and now the octopus and the lady are lovemaking. It's really weird because that was a long time ago. Anyways guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe here for more. Oh yeah. And if you too like to eat clams, then check out my socials somewhere down below. We'll hang out sometime, it'll be fun. I love you guys so much, I'll see you soon. Stay sweet my little honeybees, bye. They call me Vincent Van Gogh, you know what I'm saying? Because it's bad.